big advantage to qualify for a win. Gyaradotic is pretty much still alive. However, Ahmad is just so far ahead that pretty much any items is extremely lethal. And getting 2 bombs on this map specifically from this far is incredibly unfortunate. Very lucky for Ahmad, though. Ooh, okay, Ahmad actually taking a more straight line route so that he gets slightly ahead and makes every single item more effective, pretty much. By keeping it
the
lean.
stream should be up on YouTube now. I just had to stop it and restart it for some reason.
Oh, yep, it is. Nice.
There we go. Well, people on YouTube are going to be missing that first map and part of this one too.
Ahmad not doing the fastest route possible because he possibly scared of a tackle. Now slowing himself down to adapt. Oh no! Dodged! The sniper laser. Everyone knows about that one at some point.
Yeah.
Especially in ranked.
That should be 2-0, and we're heading over to the theme park.
Let's have some fun. Theme park.
Ooh, instant tackle right off the bat once again.
Ahmad having their fun. Going for many insane tackles. I feel like that's something a lot of people have been experimenting with lately, honestly.
Yeah. It's very good because tackles are extremely powerful. Ahmad, you can't do that. That skip got banned, remember?
True. Well, at least he didn't actually get the point.
Yeah. If Ahmad had gotten the point there, that would have... I believe that our rule is on one of those skips, it's a... I can't remember if it was a map forfeit or an entire match forfeit.
I'm pretty sure it's a match forfeit.
Yeah. Oh, a self-hit with that ball there for Ahmad.
Oh, dude, the grapple Ahmad just hit was actually crazy. Just for the tiny slope, that was hilarious. I mean, Ahmad is the king of speed, so you do expect him to take a bit of a slack. Like juggling some balls. And rocketing himself just to go just that tiny faster. He did try to go for the skip again, though. Probably a reflex.
Oh, looks like Ahmad and a bunch of other people are sitting in a VC over in the other server. And apparently Arch was the one that informed Ahmad that he was about to cause himself to lose the match that time earlier.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It isn't against the rules to be in VC with other people during your match.
Everyone should get backseated by plat players.
Yeah. Coaching is entirely allowed. In fact, I would definitely encourage it.
Ahmad takes the point. Nice. Is it 3-0? Yeah, 3-0.
Yep, 3-0. Unfortunately for... This guy just keeps changing his name. I think that's like 17 names now I think they've gone by. Alright, up next we have Arch versus Ty. Which might be a different Arch from the one that Ahmad was talking about. There's Ty. There's Arch.
Right, Platinum against Gold League.
Oh.
Oh.
I think... Okay. Never mind, I
Must
don't
have
know
been
what
the
they were
typo.
doing.
Probably smacked their keyboard. Or controller, I don't know. Yeah, no, the toughest matches are at the beginning.
Yeah. If by tough you mean most mismatched.
Yes. Usually the top players are gonna go against the lowest seeded player.
Yeah. Alright.
This seems to be gonna be a pretty even match, honestly. That gamer has made a lot of progress
Yeah.
in his skills. Arch, I haven't played with him much, so I can't really
Alright, we're
tell.
going 50-50. Which means we gotta wait the timer out.
WASD. Did Die Gamer want to play with WASD? If so, that's crazy.
Yeah. WASD is relatively difficult as a keybind setup because of the fact that
difficult?
it's best to have one finger above a key at all times. And WASD, you have to move your finger to go between jump and slide.
Yeah, it's honestly very difficult.
Oh,
Arch,
unfortunate
no!
spike there.
Die Gamer just takes a box with his extended arm. Very good box, Arch. Gonna have to remember that for the next round, though. For both players. Die Gamer missing a couple grapples, giving Arch the enough advantage to get the point. However, so far, it's a golden hook in play. Very good bomb. Not much Die Gamer could have done there, so he goes for resources instead. Now, Die Gamer's rocket there might be enough of a distraction for Arch. However, Arch actually managed to take the lead when Die Gamer misses the grapple, falling straight to his doom. However, he might be on his redemption arc, as he's falling arc on his tail. Both players so far, no one making mistake. Die Gamer even going for a gainer. Not a gainer, sorry, reach grapple. Just to get slightly faster and ended up catching up with Arch. I've never seen someone take the, take a route lower down there. It's interesting.
I mean, the lower route does give a bit more resources.
Ice a bit hasty. Never mind, okay. Perfectly timed, actually. Unfortunately, the slope surf did not manage to hit very good. What? Die Gamer decided to forfeit that match.
Alright, we're heading back over to Minery.
Oh, right, they're in VC as well, so that's why they're probably just said something and had to give up that game.
Yeah. Once again,
I mean,
coaching
honestly,
is encouraged.
Honestly, it's just nice to see people play in tournaments, but also between friends, kinda.
Yeah.
Oh my god, nice movement by Gamer. Arch, however, still has the lead, which is extremely powerful on Minery specifically, because of how many good items there are. Good shockwave for Arch. again, spamming items pretty much because he can't really do anything much. That gamer does not rocket the floors there, the ceiling. He decides to keep the rocket possibly for another day. There, Arch predicts the rocket, but actually, that gamer did not use it. Instead, gets a drill that he uses instantly. Gets a ball now. Might be very threatening, but Arch decides to take just a very long path to not get hit. In fact, it works.
Very helpful crate hit there for Arch. They used the crate to boost themselves up the chimney a bit faster than they would have gone otherwise. It's always nice when you get a box boost. Unless it's in a place where you don't want to go up. Ooh, that's a massive lead already. Oh, Arch doesn't quite manage to get through that turnaround section before Ty speeds off to the left.
So far, they're pretty even in boost. Gamer takes a very interesting route to get more resources.
Oh, unfortunate. Arch jumps straight into some spikes. Alright, we're heading over to the casino.
So that's 1-1. Arch decides to go for officials, which Gamer does not seem to enjoy.
Ooh, that's a very good ice.
Arch still has an insane boost advantage on Gamer. And however, they do spawn in boost. Gamer is gonna get slightly behind. Oh, actually has to force and go ahead to not get boxed immediately. However, they made just a tiny bit of a mistake, which allowed Arch to box him correctly. Gamer does not have the speed nor the resources to catch up with Arch, however, they're gonna have to conceal that point.
Good thing they spawn in boost, which allows them to rapidly make up for the massive boost advantage that Arch had just there. Ooh, a good double ball there. Or at least good for Ty. Unfortunately for Ty, they also managed to screw up that section, which puts them way on the back foot, and that's gonna be a point there based off of that. Alright, 2-1.
Official map seem to be the turf of Arch.
Okay, we're heading over to Lantern Festival.
Interesting ice, possibly in the wrong direction. Gamer takes a slightly faster route, which puts them ahead with a bomb, which is extremely threatening. One of the best items in the game.
Unfortunately for them, it got slightly mistimed. And Arch is...
They get another one.
Yeah. Arch decides to attempt to pull Ty down through the laser, I think. That's the only way that makes sense, unless they were just cycling item giving up a point. Oh! If they were, that was a good choice, because there's a point for Arch.
Top 3 King of Speed.
Arch gains the lead rapidly once again. The same with the box in front. Not quite as powerful as a bomb, but still extremely useful in the right spot. Ooh, that was a very good shockwave there from Ty. Good use of the shockwave there to block that hook. both players once again going the slightly slower route in order to make sure that the other person has to also do it. Over at the laser section.
Another bomb.
Ooh, Arch is in a bad position here.
Oh my
Fortunately,
god.
Arch is able to recover using the catch-up mechanic, but a speed reset from a golden hook means the Thai gamer took the advantage. However, Arch is able to take the fast route, which means that they are back in the lead. Thai gamer's catching up rapidly, though. Uses a shockwave. Arch boosted through it, but it prevented them from going the proper route. And Arch swings up through the laser, killing themselves, and resulting in 2-2.
I didn't know the taunt kept after getting lasered. That's awesome.
Yes, yes it is. It's not often that somebody is aware they're going... Well, it's not often that somebody tries to do that, but cool. Alright, we're heading over to Theme Park for the last map of this match. Ooh, very good tackle there from Arch.
Okay, Arch knows not to go for the skip.
Yep,
Oh,
that or they
golden
weren't even going to try it in the first place. Another tackle on Arch. Looks like tackles are becoming a lot more common now.
Yeah, bomb forced Arch to stay bottom route, but Thai gamer did not fall for the bait. Good attempt at raiding both items, but somehow none of them did anything. Thai gamer taking a very risky route, just for slightly more speed. However, since Arch had slightly more boosts, it allows them to get a pretty good lead for themselves. Thai gamer knows they're way too far to survive from Arch going down, I mean, so they decide to go for resources instead. Arch missing the slope, the Thai gamer managed to take the lead, forcing to use some boosts thanks to the shockwave.
Oh, nasty tackle there!
Oh, and getting tackled by a cruise missile is actually brutal.
1-1 on this map.
However, Arch has full boosts, which is extremely bad news for Thai gamer. They didn't actually use any boost to get a big advantage, but still have one because Thai gamer had to stop to go for some boost. Thai gamer missing the grapple. Arch has a very good speed. This might be the point if they do not make any mistakes. They hit a box, but that's not going to be enough for Thai gamer to come back though. Thai gamer has a ball in a very extremely small corridor,
which is why Arch is currently waiting for them to move, giving up a lot of ground. But there might have been enough room for a can kill there, in fact, but Thai gamer decides to not risk it because if they went for the can kill there and it failed, they were dead, just like that.
The single box that changed everything.
Yep, that's all it takes sometimes.
Congrats.
Alright, and up next we have Taylor versus Ahmad. So Ahmad's coming back this time to beat up poor old Taylor.
there goes the king of speed. He's so fast. He won before even playing. Still waiting on Taylor.
Taylor is currently in a ranked match.
Ah, I see.
We'll give them a couple minutes.
You're playing the ghost. Come on, run, Ahmad. You're being chased. Next week is gonna be me duos. This means teams, right? Yes. Next week is gonna be a 2v2 event.
Yep. Quick reminder that teams will be selected by us during the setup, if I recall correctly, in order to prevent teams from being completely dominant or being one person just getting carried along by the other. You can make requests, and they might end up being the teams if we think it fits.
And there's Taylor.
After Ahmad left. Right, I forgot to ready up.
What team maybe would a noob get then? On the duos, it would pretty much be around the same skill floor as you. So like, if you're bronze, you might get paired with someone that's bronze, silver, or expert.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there are several large skill gaps between a lot of the players in this game.
I just realized, but yes, this is Ahmad's mansion.
Yep.
He got it on a random pick.
Very unfortunate for Taylor. The good thing is Taylor is, like me, an officials main, if I recall correctly.
I think so, yes. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Officials are one of the easiest ways to gain a relative boost at the expert to bronze level, because that's the level at which people start to really start employing techs, which are a lot harder to do on official maps than they are on workshop maps. Which means that they don't get to show off their skill as easily on them. Which means they don't practice them often, which cycles into a feedback loop, until they reach a high enough skill level that they can easily do them even without as much practice. So, if you want to beat a bronze rank a bronze rank player that you know doesn't play officials, play officials.
Ooh, that ice, unfortunately, slightly lower dodged thanks to ping. Ooh, and Ahmad even hits the grapple. Very difficult one to hit on mention. Yeah, that's fair. It's a very difficult grapple to hit. But Ahmad is the king of speed, and mention is, I think, his favorite map, so it makes sense. However, now we're going on Taylor's favorite map.
Zoo.
Unluckily for them, though, Ahmad seems to be pretty fond of this map as well.
It's the bell curve meme. People that are just starting the game love officials because they are easy to understand. Then you get to the middle part where people love workshop once they start understanding the text. Then you get back to the people that are best at the game loving officials because of their ability to show off their skill on them because they can do all the text on them.
Ahmad decided to keep his ball because he probably didn't see any good use to hitting Taylor at that point. Going for a wacky rocket. However, Ahmad does not have any boost, however. Might be over. Yes. Ahmad has just too much speed and too much distance. A second point for Ahmad.
I need to
And
double
Taylor
check
going
something
out of
real
his
quick.
way to playing workshop maps. Not seeing any opportunities on officials, so deciding to go out of his ground to maybe find a weakness. I might give Taylor a bit of a distance, probably because they're doing something else. Now Taylor has to blind run through things, and Ahmad has to follow. Very good shockwave for Ahmad, but Taylor accidentally goes the wrong way. So, anyways, works. Ahmad's shockwave here might be pretty good. Never mind, actually just has too much speed. Doesn't even need items. Decent shockwave. Good golden hook dodge as well. Ahmad goes for resources, however, that is a very long very long way for them. Very nice dodge attempt. Unluckily enough, falls slightly too much. And ends up getting hurt really bad by this ice. Yeah, unfortunate 90. Very good ball for Ahmad. Catches Taylor completely off guard. He did not expect Ahmad to actually catch up with him. Ahmad gets a crazy angle though, and because of the ball, it even closes the laser.
Yeah. Getting one off on the King of Speed is no easy feat. Alright, up next we have, even if it's just 1 point, yeah, up next we have Daddy Longlegs versus Metzger. I saw Mesker complaining about this earlier as soon as he found out. Unfortunate for him. Did I see? No, I did not see Daddy Longlegs up there earlier. Uh-oh, looks like Daddy Longlegs forgot to mark themselves online on Steam. Oh, there we go. Right as I was trying to ping them in Discord.
They're probably just watching the stream then.
Probably.
Actually, will you join any tournaments? I prefer not to not break the not the cycle, but like the pace of the tournaments.
Yeah, in order to have the whoever is hosting join the tournament, they have to relaunch the game each time.
I could potentially join because I'm not directly the host, but just in case I am, that could be bad. And also I cannot commentate as well as when I play.
Yeah. The ability to talk while playing is a skill that relatively few people possess. Because you have to sometimes think about what you're saying, and if you're putting all of your brain power towards the game, which is something that you're going to want to do in order to perform well, you're just not going to be able to talk as well.
Alright,
unfortunate there for Metzger.
Daddy Longlegs gets the first point. Metzger has no boost against the Shockwave, so it's going to be extremely bad.
Yeah.
However, Daddy Longlegs uses the Shockwave a bit too soon, in my opinion. But because Metzger lacks any items or boost, they cannot catch up.
Pretty much full disadvantage here for Daddy Longlegs once again. Good use of that crate to attempt to either drop onto Metzger or at the very least block a grapple. Unfortunately for them, it did not work. Very good ice dodge there. Another good shockwave from Daddy Longlegs, blocking off grapple access. Good use of that bomb there to unlock the gate. And Daddy Longlegs earns that third point quite quickly. 1-0. Alright, and we're heading straight over to Snowed In. One of Metzger's favorite maps. Also, I'm willing to bet that Metzger's next pick is going to be Minery. Ooh, Metzger is forced into the air route instead of taking the drop grapple route, which I believe they were going for, because I think it's a bit more speed than the distance they were going to fall there. Fortunately, Metzger also loses their speed later and isn't able to recover before Daddy Longlegs gets another point. Daddy Longlegs' minor boost advantage, mostly negated by the fact that they spawned inside boost. That could have been a potentially lethal ice spot there if Metzger had used it in time. Ooh, that's a very good ball. That might be a point here. Yes, it is. Second point for Daddy Longlegs. Daddy Longlegs has a minor boost advantage here. No item because I just used their crate already. But that does mean... Oh, very nasty rocket. That.
Daddy Longlegs went
maybe
for an RG,
not quite.
Did not go work. Let's see, Metzger so far gets a rocket, not very useful, so he decides to cycle it. It might be a bit more useful a bit later, though. But he has such a big advantage, it's not that useful.
Oh, that's a nasty ice, but Daddy Longlegs hits themselves with their own rocket, allowing Metzger to recover. Very close ball there. Metzger almost hits Daddy Longlegs with it. That would have been a point if that had hit. Very good ice there, even with the rocket hit that might have hit Daddy Longlegs, but Daddy Longlegs is able to successfully dodge it just barely. Daddy Longlegs doing a bit of an unusual path through that section there, but they are still able to get a point regardless, because Metzger ran into a wall. It's now 2-0. Metzger is on their final map pick of this match. And is it going to be Minery?
Honestly, Metzger lately has a lot more map picks than before. So he has more like Minery. Yeah, okay, he goes for Minery.
It's Minery.
But
I may or
know
may not have
he-
seen Metzger mention Minery earlier.
I recall Metzger having many maps now. That
Metzger
he
does have a
playing.
lot of maps that they play. However, that they are still best on Minery and snowed in. And I think it was Void, but I don't remember if that was one of the ones that got removed in the most recent curated workshop update. Might still be in
No,
there.
Void is still there.
All right.
Alright, let's see. Daddy Longlegs with a bomb took a longer route instead of using his bomb to deny the ice, which might hinder them a bit. However, they still get a lead. Metzger has a chance to bowl Daddy Longlegs from afar, and it works out wonderfully.
2-1 on this map. Metzger might be getting a comeback here. Metzger goes the slower route in exchange for grabbing an item. Just barely dodged that box, but their rocket hits the side of the wall.
Metzger
Meaning
uses
that the
all his
advantage-
resources to survive this.
Yeah, Metzger tried to
Might-
trade some speed to gain resource advantage, and it did not pay off at all. It's now 2-2, Daddy Longlegs full boost advantage, but boost spawn negates most of that. Ooh, very nasty box there. That might be enough for a point. That shockwave is deadly.
Oh my god, that was actually really epic. That shockwave was insane.
All right, 3-0. Heading over to Arthi versus Arch. Get that.
So if I remember correctly, Arch is Platinum against Bronze League. Let's see how this gonna go. The blue eunuch against the white mannequin echo.
All right, where we drop it, boys? And we're going random workshop.
Alright, so far. Very threatening tackles, but Arthi does not go for any items.
Yeah, no,
Ooh, Arch goes
Arthi
the
is
wrong
bronze,
way.
and we have on multiple occasions had people even below bronze in tournaments. I started playing in the tournaments back when I was in Beginners League.
To be honest,
Needless to
Arthi
say, I
has
got
made
cooked.
some great progress.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I remember correctly, he started playing either after me or something like that, and played in a learners league, and ended up getting better than me in the end.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Arch I haven't played with too much. I just know that they play a lot of officials.
Eh. Ooh, good bomb.
Very good
Not
bomb in the
quite
wall.
used there. Not quite used quickly there. It didn't really slow down quickly. Rocket gets cycled out because there's basically no chance that any of those are hitting. Shockwave forces Arthi down the right-hand path. Doesn't really do all that much other than that, however. Oh, Arthi messes up the grapple section, resulting in Arch getting that point. 2 on this map. Is Arch gonna commit a reverse sweep here? Let's find out. Ooh, Arch didn't quite manage to keep their speed through that section as well as Arthi did. Oh, and a missed grapple means Arch falls slightly further behind once again. Arch is going to wait here for the gate to open. Oh, and that might be... That's a very bad position for Arch to be in because they missed the ceiling slope boost there.
Arch seemed to have locked in, because they do not do any silly stuff anymore. They're really here to win this time.
Yep.
However,
You
a
can
single
let your
mistake
opponents... Yeah, you can let your opponents have 2 points on any given map. It's the third that's the most important.
Yeah, a single wall hit and it could be all over.
Oh, or a single nasty rocket like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arthi accidentally rocketed themselves.
Oh, and a crate hit too?
Arch. Ooh, and
I
Arthi
think
lost
that
all
might
his
be
speed
a
on the
point
game.
here. Yep.
Arch does not wait a single second.
Reverse sweep on that map. Yeah. Arthi is technically bronze, but also rank has been stagnating recently.
Alright, going for Disco
Right,
now.
Disco Lounge. Ooh, instant tackle right off the bat.
Classic.
Always gotta love that. Unless you're the one that got tackled, then you hate it. Ooh, unfortunate grapple miss there for Arch.
Arch has a bomb, which is very strong, fairly strong here.
Ooh,
Decides not to
good
use
bomb
it.
attempt.
Uses it where Arthi can
Oh.
catch up with another grapple, so it's not that effective, but because they missed a grapple after, they can take advantage on that. Arch goes for an item, gets an ice, extremely powerful item for this far.
And it
Takes the bottom route.
well
instead of
played.
item.
Arch grabs some
Arthi
speed, but
cannot-
then loses it all.
No
Another
players
tackle
can
on
really
Arthi.
afford. Gets an item, a shockwave against a golden hook. Not very lucky for Arthi.
Yeah, Arthi could have boosted through that shockwave, but they were unable to react in time and fell far enough behind to lose the point on a word. I don't remember the word for that second type of section. Arch also has a bomb in first place here. Could have been more useful if it was done slightly earlier so that it wasn't as easy of a recovery through the grapple.
Arthi unfortunately cannot save any boost and even hits a wall, giving Arch the second point.
Yep, 2-0.
If I were Arthi, I'd probably gamble again on either New Age City or a newer map to try and catch Arch off guard. Or maybe even a lower skill map. A lower skill ceiling map, like maybe Genetics.
Oh, I hate genetics.
But because it's always the same speed, pretty much, it gives you the most chances to actually beat players of a higher skill level.
Yeah. It's an endurance match, pretty much.
Good golden grapple. Rocket barely misses because Arch actually sees it. Even
Arch
takes a
uses
very
C there.
weird route to put the rocket in Arthi's way. Very clever.
Unfortunate grapple mess up there for Arch. That gives a point to Arthi.
Falls on the boost, so pretty much denies the ball. But you gotta remember, pretty much any units in this game matters.
Ooh, unfortunate head bonk there from Arthi.
And Arch actually waiting a bit for Arthi to recover.
Arch does have 1 point's worth of wiggle room on that still.
The sportsmanship between players is going pretty well.
Ooh.
Arch actually predicted
slightly
Arthi
higher.
wouldn't go for this.
Dueling Ices both hit, but Arthi is in the advantageous position for that hit, which lets them keep a major lead here. Oh, unfortunate mess up on that turnaround there, and that's a point for Arch, bringing it to... This is 2-0, right? Or is that 3-0? Yeah, I think that was 3-0.
Yeah.
Alright.
Xenos against the Sarnil.
It's been a while since we saw Xenos in a tournament match.
Yeah, no, they do not come very often.
And apparently this time they're going to be playing sober. You are allowed to consume substances while playing in our tournaments, so long as you can still control yourself. Alright, both going for a random workshop. Despite, if I recall correctly, Asarnil also being an officials main, and Xenos being at least half decent at officials. Oh, good bomb there from Asarnil. Killed some momentum. Oh, very good swing up there from Asarnil. Probably could have made it up on the other route, but not worth the risk, honestly.
Xenos gets a lot of resources before dying.
Yep, always a good choice to make if you are pretty sure you're going to lose the point. Unless it's
so
the
far,
last point.
Sarnil does not take a very optimal route to get some resources to counter Xenos's.
Unfortunately, Asarnil fails to jump in time and instead gets... Oh, both players got hit by that rocket there.
Hell?
On that
what was
point
that?
2 times ago
That's
now.
Awesome.
Asarnil managed to get onto the down slope before jumping, which killed a lot of their speed. They might have been able to survive if they had jumped earlier. Big maybe. And yet another win trade here from Xenos. Let's see if it'll pay off for them. It's 2-2 now. Shockwave definitely much more powerful in general than a box.
Could be anyone's game. Box
both players now have Shockwave. Both immediately use Shockwave,
Shockwave,
and neither of them do anything.
It's pretty much a free hit. A third box for Sarnil.
Sarnil is not getting lucky.
Not going to be very useful because they're ahead, but could be useful if they make a mistake. They decide to cycle it, seeing how much of an advantage they had. However, they get 2 boxes, which is enough to outspeed a Sarnil. Completely related. They all happened. Xenos dropped their box and it just exploded a Sarnil. Their were mind blown. Like it was some kind of mind.
Yep. As usual, we head over to Sarnil's main, the airport.
Sorry. Forgot I muted you. Right, taking top route.
Ooh, Xenos hits some boxes, has to use some boost to recover. Xenos doesn't take top route, neither does Sarnel. Not completely sure why neither of them bothered to try for it. Ooh, this is not a good position to have your opponent have a ball in. And Xenos shoots it out forward for unknown reasons. Oh, and Xenos goes too low, loses all of their momentum, but Asarnal also doesn't get any momentum. It appears these players are a bit rusty on this map. Xenos shoots the ice in the wrong direction. Asarnal takes advantage of the open gate to gain a massive lead, and that might be a point. Nope. Xenos is just barely able to live through it. Xenos swings straight up into the ceiling and kills all their momentum. If they had waited a tiny bit longer, they would have been able to get the fast route through there. Both players once again failed to get the medium fast route through here. Xenos not doing too hot here. They do have an ice, which they might use this round or next round. Gonna be next round, probably. They could keep it until the end. It's been a lap and a half so far. We've gotten 1 point total. Oh! Asarnal makes it and pulls the lever, but bonks their head on the way up. Very good ball there. That might be lethal. It is lethal. The players are going to have to keep in mind that the ball still is live. They do not go down low enough for the ball to hit them yet. Well, the ball passes them
pretty
before
good
they get low
angles.
enough to hit it.
Xenos missing a lot of grapples.
And Asarnal finally recovering and knocking off their rust to pull off a very rapid 3 points after the lengthy first one. Alright, we're heading over to Sure Enough. Ooh, good tackle there from Xenos. Asarnal is forced into the slower bottom route. It is sometimes better to wait to tackle. Yeah, a tackle in that spot is very bad for the one that gets tackled. Shockwave here could be used as defense against the ball, which is probably why... Oh! The defense gets mistimed and Xenos dies. 1-1 on this map, and overall too. Ooh, Xenos messes up the transition there. Xenos has to spend the rest of their boost in order to keep up. Ooh, Xenos misses the bottom slope there, which causes them to not be in a position to catch themselves with a grapple, which gets Asarnal a second point. There's no more wiggle room for Xenos here. 2-2, Xenos has negligible boost advantage and a ball to Asarnal's hook. Ooh, hook does not even target Xenos, just used slightly at the wrong time. Ooh, head bonk there from Xenos, giving Asarnal a minor lead. Rocket here could be potentially lethal. Oh, that ball is definitely not a good sign for Asarnal. Both players are still in it, however. Oh, that bomb is, unfortunately for Xenos, mistimed. Asarnal does have a massive boost deficit here, which Xenos uses to the advantage to gain that third point, bringing it to 2-1.
Texas run him, okay. A fairly difficult map, so might be a bit difficult to get a pretty decent lead. However, there's a lot of choke points, So it might be very interesting to see how it goes. Very late golden grapple. Good attempt with the shockwave to try and slow them down. There you go, sorry. Ice gonna be used backwards, not gonna hit, unfortunately. The Sarnil was slightly too high. The Sarnil decides to cycle hit their golden grapple. Xenos goes slightly slower for an item, which ends up very useful. Forces the Sarnil to take a different path. So they have just a couple units of advantage. Use the shockwave to try and slow down the Sarnil, but accidentally boost them forward. So Sarnil ends up getting the point. Now both players, Sarnil decides to get for an item.
Oh, that's a nasty ice there. Unfortunate golden hook there from Sarnil hits the ground instead of managing to attach to Xenos. Oh, that's a nasty ball. Unfortunately for Xenos, Sarnil messes up the grapple, but Xenos is still not quite able to recover, bringing it to 2-1 on this map.
Okay, so Sarnil has the boost advantage. However, Xenos has to wait just a little bit to get matching boost amount, putting Sarnil in the forward spot. So Sarnil now has not got a lot of resources, but because of their advantage, they're pretty much immune to a lot of the items.
Oh, now, that bomb could be lethal!
Oh, very good bomb. But Xenos actually sees it and adapts his movement.
Oh. Fortunately for both players, the bomb that almost killed Xenos managed to happen at the same time as Sarnil messing up. But Sarnil messes up again, which gives Xenos the second point so far. Well, I mean their second point. 2-2 on this map.
Sarnil cannot.
Oh, and that head bonk might be lethal. Yes, it is, especially with that bomb. Xenos manages to pull off a recovery on the map, bringing it to 3-1 overall.
Very well done.
And up next, we will have Ahmad versus Daddy Longlegs.
Alright, matches should start to get very interesting now forward.
If the boss handles that, I'll get the bracket matches back up and running. So we have Ahmad versus Daddy Longlegs. Am I just blind again? Yes, I am. Uh-oh. Alright, where are we going, Ahmad? Yeah, just okay. Mod also selects random workshop, so we're going random workshop, and we're going to Sky High. This map is getting close to his first birthday. A mod showing absolutely no mercy to Daddy Longlegs. And first point. Ooh, mod fails to get up on top. Decides to instead just be faster than Daddy Longlegs and take back the lead. Nasty spot for a bomb here, and also here, and also here. There's a lot of nasty spots for a bomb. And the mod uses one of them, and it's now 2-0 on this map.
Going very good for a mod thus far. Ooh, incredible bomb. Very good reflexes.
Ice here could be lethal.
Daddy Longlegs stayed low to prevent any possible ices. Very, very good awareness. A mod even doing a 90 to get a further lead. That is some incredible movement precision.
Alright, and that's 1-0.
Alright, a mod takes the lead. Daddy Longlegs lags a bit behind and hits the wall, unfortunately. But it does put themselves in a situation where they forced to dodge the bomb. Never mind, actually the item is allowed much sooner than I expected.
Good hook dodge there from a mod. And second point. Daddy Longlegs is the fast route. A mod decides to not take it because they don't need it. They're just going to be fast instead. Ooh, very good hook there from Daddy Longlegs. Prevented a mod from getting into the boost. Oh, and that missed grapple might mean that, yes, Daddy Longlegs gets a point on a mod.
Oh, wait, okay. A mod going very dangerously behind. However, now they started to pick up speed, so they can catch up very well. In fact, they have. First point goes to a mod. Alright, where does Daddy Longlegs want to bring a mod? Texas running. Very good option.
Ooh, very good tackle there from Daddy Longlegs. Not often you see mod be the first one tackled. Hook cycle there. Nasty ball attempt. And first point goes to Ahmad. And Ahmad also grabs a shockwave right before the point ends. Ooh, good ice attempt. Ahmad decides to do a bit of wing trading. And Ahmad now has a massive lead, but messes up a grapple. Attempts to create Daddy Longlegs in the face. Does not hit. Good crate there.
Grapple cycle. Ahmad tries to cam kill Daddy Longlegs.
It did not
takes
work.
a pretty
And then
safe
kills themselves!
Expected
Ahmad,
to
why'd
hit
you do that?
He expected
well.
to take the boosts before getting hit by the rocket. Very good shockwave out of the camera, so they have to look at Ahmad's items and to really figure out.
Daddy Longlegs gets a map off of the King of Speed. Looks like the drunk buff is finally paying off. Alright, we're heading over to the casino for some gambling. Ooh, unfortunate mess up there for Daddy Longlegs, giving Ahmad the second point. Both players spawn on the same spot. Ahmad is able to get up much faster, however, giving them a massive advantage here because they can grab the item. Oh, that's a nasty ball. And an attempted cam kill does not pan out for Ahmad. Ahmad not playing around anymore now that Daddy Longlegs already got a point off on him. And now it's 3-1. Alright. And we're heading over to Arch versus Xenos. There's Xenos. There's Arch. Alright, where are we dropping? Alright, splitting the difference. Alright, we're heading over to Oasis Abyss. Ooh, very good bomb there from Arch. That's the first point to them. Ooh, Shockwave almost prevents your grapple from Xenos, but not quite. Xenos grabs and instantly uses a bomb.
Very evil box.
Yeah.
However, he did wait for Xenos to come back, though. So they feel confident.
Oh, that's a nasty ice. 2 points for Arch. This advantage is entirely negligible. I can't talk today due to the spawn, and that's a nasty rocket, bringing a 3rd point for Arch. Alright. We're heading over to Ocean Slide.
Very good rocket angle. Accidentally opens the lever, but Arch does not take advantage of that. Decides to take the normal route to get some boost for himself. Xenos still has a massive advantage on Arch, but they are gaining just slightly more ground every turns. Xenos tried to ball backwards to hit Arch, but they were actually in front of them. And they end up getting the point, catching up from very far away. Xenos' ice might be very useful there. Bit late, unfortunately. Realized a bit too late that this was gonna be a guaranteed ice. Arch does not have any boost. If the Xenos gets a shockwave, it could be very big for them. They do not, unfortunately. Arch managed to get a lot of boost again, gets a rocket, does not use it on the slope, tries to use it a bit earlier to catch Xenos off guard, does not work out. So far we've got pretty much a tie. Xenos forcing Arch to play everything blind. Arch forces the Xenos to take the top route, which is faster, but a bit trickier to do. Xenos has an ice, which allowed them to take the first place. Tries to go completely forward to throw Arch away, but unfortunately for them, it doesn't work out. Arch hits the wall, however, which throw off their entire momentum. Xenos gets a shockwave that they have to use to protect themselves against the rocket. Very well done. Xenos does not go for an item. Really wants to go for speed instead of really item plays. And it seems to work out so far. Xenos takes corner a bit too wide compared to Arch, which is why Arch manages to catch up. And even gets the point despite being behind.
Unfortunate camera positioning there.
Arch gets a rocket, which he cycles pretty much immediately. He does not need this. He goes for... Arch gonna go for resources and... No? Goes to survive and actually manages to. Probably saw that Xenos took a lot of time to go around this place, so he decides to force his way, and it ends up working very well for him. Ball there might be a bit late. Might be even more hindering to himself. Never mind, okay. He didn't have the speed to hit that. Arch is extremely slow and did not realize Xenos made a mistake at the end there. which could have allowed him to come back. Arch gets Golden Grapple. I'm gonna immediately cycle it. Accidental 90. Xenos so far has pretty much the same speed as Arch. Very slightly different though. As Arch has the lead. Just has to take a bit sharper corners and blind run through everything. Xenos so far still alive, but very likely gonna be choked out there. And Arch takes the second point.
Very good ice there. Good bomb, too. That's probably going to be lethal. Yes, it is. There's a slightly more boost here. It goes slightly wider to have more momentum. But that did let Arch gain that rocket, which fortunately for Xenos doesn't hit. Ice is used by Xenos to prevent Arch from moving earlier, and then gets hit by a rocket, which means that Xenos gets a second point here. Arch is now in a lot of trouble here. Both players run back to collect some boost before continuing. Xenos goes for the slope, while Arch went for the grapple up there. Both of them were more or less effectively the same speed, but Arch made up space later on. And then Xenos attempts to go for a drop grapple to gain extra speed, and it does not work. And Arch is now on the board. Ooh, nasty little rocket there from Xenos, but Arch is able to recover. Good spot for a crate. Arch is slowly coming back. Very good crate there from Arch. Completely killing all of Xenos' momentum. But Xenos goes for a win trade. Full boost compared to Arch's roughly 1/3 boost. Though Arch does also have that crate. But that ain't going to matter because Arch is behind. And now they're in the lead, so it now is helpful, but they already used it. Xenos attempted to use a bomb to knock Arch into some spikes. It did not work. But Xenos is able to freeze Arch. Oh, Xenos messes up the transition onto that part and isn't able to get into the air boost. But then a rocket from Arch seals it, and Arch managed to pull off the reverse sweep on the map, bringing it to 3-0. Alright. And up next, we will have Ahmad versus Arch. But first, I need to go get a drink. So we're going to take a short break.
Almost seemed like Ahmad was going for a silly character. This is unfortunately a small break time. And yes, this is going to be first to 5.
Time to get on. It is first to 5. I actually forget if we changed the rules on bans. Let me double check that real quick. Nope. No mad bans. Alright, we're heading over to a random official. And it's airport.
A very far away rocket.
Both players are able
Very
to gain
good
the
swing.
fast route. Though Ahmad did it slightly better. Oh,
Ooh,
very
Ahmad
risky
goes
strat
for it.
there. Ahmad
Shows off
decides
his
to run
head.
backwards to collect some boost while still maintaining a large enough lead that they could practically kill at any time. Rocket almost kills Arch there, but Arch is able to survive just barely by the skin of their teeth. Arch decides to go the bottom route in order to dodge the crate dropped by Ahmad. And Arch messes up the slope boosting there and gets a point on himself. Gets a point to him. Ooh, both players gained the fast route through there. Always risky to take that because of the spikes, obviously. Ahmad attempts to recover from a shockwave by using a golden hook. It does not work. But Ahmad is just able to outrun Arch, making it 2-0 on this map.
I respect the decision for both players. It's not an easy way to go.
Lost a bunch of speed there. Oh, Arch just barely getting a point before the ball hits them, and they spawn right after the ball. Let's see if Ahmad ends up hitting it on the way up. They are not going to because they got a point using that shockwave. Alright, we're heading over to the casino.
Very interesting pathing for Ahmad to touch the bomb there. Oh, we can't see on Twitch, you're right.
Oh, I forgot to swap the scenes!
We suppose I just noticed that. Thank you, Noopy Noop.
Oh. Oops.
Well, that happens.
Well, there's a reason I don't get paid to do this.
Arch just jumps into his rocket.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Rocket there is gonna be interesting. Doesn't use it actually very late. Very well played. But Ahmad is just thin enough to go to power through it. Even takes a really long route to throw Arch off guard, and it works really well.
Oh, that's a nasty rocket. That might be a point here.
Not quite yet. Ahmad is still at play.
Very good shockwave attempt there. Oh, that is nasty. Ahmad desperately spamming everything in an attempt to recover before this drop here. Oh, Ahmad has to take the slightly slower in the long term route in order to get down fast enough to not get cam killed. Very good shockwave there. It made Ahmad have to completely change their strategy for getting up. Oh, Ahmad is getting cam killed. 2-1. Everybody's just spamming items there. I think Ahmad hit themselves with their own ball, in fact. Oh, that's a nasty tackle. Ooh, that might be it for Arch here. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Only way Arch doesn't die here is if Ahmad lets that. Or Ahmad does that. Ahmad missed a grapple and now Arch is really close behind. But 2 rockets are still in play, and now they're not. Oh, and Arch lets go of the slide slightly too early, nicks a box, and instantly dies because of the massive gap that was already between them. Alright, that's 2-0. And we're heading over to the Oasis.
Right, Ahmad has a bomb very far ahead that he has shown to be very merciful in this tournament.
Both players collect full boost before the end of the point. That's a nasty ball. And that's a point for Arch. Ball is still in play, which players should keep in mind. And now it's not. I forgot that the balls die there on this map.
Well, Mud doesn't go for the immediate item. Could have sent Arch right into a spice. Although he does use the bomb through the floor. I forgot that was a thing. Okay, Ahmad gets... I believe that was his own box. Are still far ahead. Oh, but Ahmad actually got very, very good angles with his grapples. Oh, almost makes Arch flying into the moon. Very good golden grapple. Almost catches a mod on his double jump. Ahmad tries to go for an RG for a cool win. Waits for an item. And hits the rocket anyways. Ahmad tried to go for an RG to take top route. Unfortunately, doesn't land it, so he adapts to do it better. Good golden grapple for Arch. Unfortunately, because of ping, it actually slows him down. And Ahmad takes the point. Ahmad has slowed down a bit on this map, but not nearly as much as others. So he probably disliked the map a little more. Alright, we're going to the library. Pretty decent official map. Both players waiting for the laser. Makes sense. Unfortunately, the golden grapple is gonna get denied because of the bomb. Ahmad does not get cam killed there. Barely not. I don't think you can cam kill actually there. So I think Ahmad was fine. Here it's a basic grapple, spam grapples part.
Ooh,
taking
bit of
the
a
bottom route makes sense.
There. Both players take different routes to get to the same place.
Ahmad tries to swing up very far to hit Arch with his ice.
Guaranteed hit there for on Ahmad, unfortunately for them. And Cam here.
Arch seems to have the point lead on Ahmad. Maybe Ahmad is shaking right now.
Shaking in their tail. I can't tell if that creature is wearing boots or if that's just the fur color there. Oh, Ahmad doesn't make the swing up, so it's a second point for Arch. 2-0. Ahmad has basically no more wiggle room left here.
Okay, spawn tackle. Ahmad gets a very nasty angle to get a lot of speed.
Oh, and a pre-ball. Let's see if Arch can dodge. Arch cannot dodge. Ahmad gets a massive lead off rip here. Arch uses some of their boost advantage to catch a bit up. Hook gets cycled out for a ball, and that might be enough to get a point here. Yes, it is!
Just yet? Oh my god!
Arch
Congratulations!
Takes a point, a map off of Ahmad.
The king of speed is trembling. Must be some kind of earthquake. Alright, Ahmad has been playful thus far, but it might change from that much.
Yep, instant tackle. Looks like Ahmad barely dodged that on their end. Cam kill here, maybe? Yeah, that's an obvious cam kill. situation.
I'm surprised it didn't spawn down there.
Yeah, me too. Must have happened a bit earlier on the mod's end. Wait, no, that wouldn't make sense either. Maybe the checkpoint is later on there, so it didn't register as him having crossed there yet. That would make sense if that was what happened. The game can be finicky about that.
And both players trying to tackle each other. Unfortunately, because they're right on top, they're both behind each other on their screen.
I probably would have been better off trying to do a mid-trade there and collect more of this before the end. Instead of trying to delay it.
Rocket there might be extremely useful. Ahmad doesn't get the correct angle to really hit the rocket in the corridor, but he does have a pretty good angle on the slope surf, which puts him a very, very far behind, and Arch cannot just follow this. However, Arch has full boost and Ahmad has just a rocket. Not gonna be very useful at all. Ahmad needs to play this pretty much perfectly to come back from this situation. Arch uses the shockwave to clear out the boxes for a better slope angle, which works really well in his favor. Ahmad still has his rocket. He does not want to cycle that one. It's probably better to keep the item in case you need it instead of cycling it immediately. And Arch gets another point.
3-2.
Actually catching up to the King of Speed. Alright, Ahmad going on a factory 1v1. No, Disco Lounge. Changes his mind. Ahmad gets the back spawn, but he does get the lead. Not much resources played thus far, but we can wait and see. So far, Arch is very far behind, so he very likely needs to get either boxes or ice. Ahmad tries to go for a very interesting tackle play again. So he does not seem to be very scared about Arch getting the lead on the point. Okay, good box on the swing up. Arch almost makes a mistake by going for the boost to try and survive, because Ahmad could have used the boost on the ground to actually get some resources before dying. Completely out of screen. Ahmad still alive. Gets hit by a very annoying ice. Arch still has some massive speed, makes a small mistake in the blind run section. However, it's still okay as they have maximum boost. The ball on the swing up, gonna be very difficult to dodge. Gets the second point to Arch. And this might be a 3-2-3 tie if Arch actually plays this wonderfully. Might be actually a very crazy match.
You have an upset here.
They're good mid-air bomb. Very good angle on both players. Arch still had the lead before Ahmad takes it. Even gets the point. Very good. But now Arch has the lead with a bomb. Ahmad manages to force Arch behind him. So they end up being in a very good position. Sorry, I have to do something real quick. Here you do. And Ahmad actually comes back from this. So that point for Ahmad, that's 4-2. Alright, so Arch has one final pick. Any other maps have to be Ahmad's pick afterwards.
If I recall correctly, Ahmad did win on this one, which picked it.
Good ball. Very good angle for Arch. Insane speed. Very good advantage. Good resources, unfortunately not getting much useful so far. Gets a shockwave, which might be very, very good to prevent Amalia from grappling a bit too early. Ahmad has a ball, which could be very useful if he manages to catch up to Arch like this. And forces Arch to run into the wall thanks to the ball.
That was a nasty pre-ball that was also defensive in nature. It's probably one of the best pre-balls I've ever seen, in fact.
Ooh. Ahmad hits the wall. Instantly spawn tackle. Arch is in an extremely bad position. Ahmad tries to go for a cam kill, which barely doesn't work.
Ahmad is able to recover their momentum by landing on a slope, however.
Ahmad still being a bit playful, still going backwards just for the funs of it. Arch trying his best, however, to win this. Because it makes sense. When you get a point on the King of Speed, you're going to be motivated to get more.
Oh, unfortunate bosses there, but Arch manages to recover by tackling Ahmad. Ahmad is in a very bad position here, and that's another point for Arch.
4-3.
Alright, Pitfall. I don't think we've actually seen it in this tournament so far.
Nope.
Okay, never mind. Ahmad's changing it to Ocean Slide.
Ahmad seems very undecisive tonight. Or today, depending on your time zone. First bowling goes to Ahmad. So far, Arch has a golden grapple, which is going to be used to go slightly higher. Ahmad tries to go for a very nasty tackle. Does not manage to land it very well, but almost got Arch, both boosting himself with the bomb and stopping Arch with the bomb. Arch gets an ice for being so far behind, which is going to be extremely valuable. Forces Ahmad to actually go behind Arch and give up the lead. Arch immediately boxes Ahmad mid-air. That's some very crazy turn of events. Let's see now if Ahmad actually starts to wait a bit. Doesn't look like it. He's taking every corners as sharp as possible despite being completely blind. Gets a box. Arch has a rocket, which might be useful in this specific section. Does not want to use it in the end. Takes it wide to dodge the box. Gets tackled midair by Ahmad, but recovers wonderfully. So far, Ahmad tries to box Arch midair with pretty much no aspects possible to guarantee a hit. Ahmad trying to go for swags pretty much left and right. And Ahmad takes the point, the final point, 5-3. Congrats. Despite doing all his swag, Arch could not manage to catch up.
Alright. And now we're going to take a quick trip down to loser's bracket. This is not a top 4 match because we went through winner's bracket slightly faster than anticipated. It is the match between Daddy Longlegs and Asarnil, which are right next to each other on the friend list as well, it just so happens. Alright, and we're going random workshop. Quick reminder that this is still first to 3.
CT run R2.
Yep, CT run R2. See this felt time
Very
so far.
hard to
Oh,
get
that's
back.
a nasty ball hit there on Asarnil, and that's going to be a point.
Asarnil could have probably used his own ball to counter that, but decided
Almost
not
definitely. Might have just mistimed using it. Tried to wait just barely too long, and ended up getting hit before they could use it. That might have been what happened. Oh, self-rocket hit there. Fortunately, they landed on a slope, so they were able to slightly recover, but an unfortunate grapple there gets Daddy Longlegs a second point, now 2-0. Daddy Longlegs does have a minor boost advantage, but this spawn right next to boost anyways. The Sentinel attempts to use a hook, does not work. Daddy Longlegs has taken the lead already. Bottom row gets blocked off by the ball. Both players manage to outrun it, however. Ball gets knocked backwards and it's going to go and do nothing. Except survive. And Daddy Longlegs manages to pull off a third point. And that makes it 1-0. Whoever wins this will be staying in here to fight for a top 4 place against Ty. Heading over to the resort.
Yeah, Asarnil going for 2 reach grapples. Daddy Longlegs accidentally hitting things wrong. But actually manages to win trade this out. Doesn't use his boost advantage to, well, his advantage. And Asarnil messes up the big swing up, allowing Daddy Longlegs to get the point. Now this is looking pretty awkward for Sarnil, being extremely far behind. Misses the lever as well. Doesn't have much room to spare, so he decides to use some of his boost to his advantage. Takes the top route to get more boosts at the cost of some speed. Daddy Longlegs gets a bomb. Might be very useful pretty much anywhere here. He even accidentally missed a grapple.
Ooh,
But
unfortunate
Sarnil
box hits there for
hits the
Sarnil.
boxes. Bomb's gonna get destroyed immediately. Drill at play. So if a Sarnil gets an ice, Daddy Longlegs should be fairly safe. In the end, they end up making a grapple mistake, which forces them to use the drill. Sarnil gets a box, which allows him to box Daddy Longlegs immediately and get a massive lead out of that. Daddy Longlegs takes the lead back. Misses the path though, so they get immediately an item in exchange of a win. But Daddy Longlegs is in a very bad position. Sarnil misses barely the slope, which allows Daddy Longlegs to take the point. 2-0. That was much closer than I thought it would be. You have to be drunk to play SpeedRunners. Alright, and the Sarnil's final pick is gonna be short enough. Good attempt with the tackle to try and tackle on top of the boxes. But Sarnil hits a lot of boxes himself. Good rocket. Okay, I'll be back real quick. I need to do something very quickly.
Daddy Longlegs getting slightly better trap chimney, but misses up the transition. Tries to use a golden hook to recover, but that makes it even worse. And Sarnil gets the point. Major disadvantage, almost entirely negated by the boost spawn.
Holy.
Daddy Longlegs gets a much better travel down there. He decides to grab extra boost instead of grabbing an item. They are
very
also
good reaction from that ice.
Connect through there.
Daddy Longlegs getting some crazy angles. Sarnil has a drill to prevent himself from getting bombed, but a bit too late. Sarnil does not have much boost to play around that ball, however. Daddy Longlegs decides to keep it despite a very good angle for him to use it. So now he's... Oh my god, okay. Daddy Longlegs is just him. He sees angle that just would never see. Manages to catch up with points. And even gets an ice, so... Oh. Daddy Longlegs controller issue, maybe?
Maybe. Maybe.
I think they must have changed their keyboard layout or something. Maybe even started a macro, I don't know.
Bluetooth keyboard? Oh. Accidental alt tab.
Hmm.
That's unfortunate.
Well, at least that gives the points to Arsenal.
And we're heading over to Club B.
Alright.
Well, here could be lethal. It misses, however. Ooh, very good shockwave. Arsenal doing a bit of trading and
not
trying to minimize the amount of boost that Daddy Longlegs is able to collect from the boost bar there. Ooh, very good ball attempt there. That probably would have been lethal if it hit. Very good use of the bottom route there. While the bottom route is slower, it is also a cam kill opportunity. Sarnil uses the air boost to gain extra momentum. Generally not something you want to do with a earlier start, but since that start was so close, it is worthwhile. Because I believe that going the standard route is faster. It's the bell curve mean, once again. Both players opt to collect boost at the left side again. Sarnil, I believe, is slowly catching back up in terms of time. Ooh, but a slightly messed up transition there means that Dialon Lewis gains the lead, which they spend on collecting more resources, and then they ice a Sarnil, making it 2-1. A Sarnil does have a boost advantage here, however. Ooh, Daddy Longlegs has their controller,
oh, no.
or keyboard messing up once again. Okay.
Black screen. Oh no, that's gonna be a rematch.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Daddy Longlegs needs to restart their game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't... Well, obviously we couldn't see what Daddy Longlegs saw, so...
We can tell something was screwed up there.
Yeah. They just ran into the wall, clipped into the back rooms, and won. Yeah, okay, it might be a PC issue then. Might not be the game.
Yeah. I mean, it could be an interaction between them. But let me go back to the YouTube stream so I can quickly check the exact resources they had.
I mean, do they need to know? Because we can just rematch the entire map.
Daddy Longlegs had legitimately gotten 2 points. Yeah, because they didn't have items, so it's easy to recreate the pretty much exactly the position they were in at the start. Yeah, so they go to the start position. They
Well,
close enough.
It's fine.
Yeah, close enough. And there we go. Legitimate point.
And Daddy Longlegs wins.
All right. And up next, will have Daddy Longlegs versus Ty. Because that is 3-1, right?
Yes.
And they will quickly get this run through. All right. Remains to be seen who will win. All right. Where are we dropping? And we're heading straight to Random Workshop. Tie off to a much better start. Daddy Longlegs does have that bump, but they are in second place, so it isn't particularly useful. Ooh, very good shockwave there. Daddy Longlegs did not have any boost to block it with. Slightly mistimed bomb there. Daddy Longlegs is able to recover and get into the same section as Ty. Use of the ice there is not all that bad for Daddy Longlegs because of the air section right there. It also allowed them to keep their momentum a lot easier than if they had to manually act so. Oh, that's a nasty bomb. And that's a point for Daddy Longlegs. Daddy Longlegs does have boost advantage here. However, Ty Gamer does have that rocket, which could pay off if they use the right place. Ooh, very narrow hit of the grapple there by Daddy Longlegs. And Daddy Longlegs is able to pull off another victory thanks to, I believe, there was a box drop on Ty. Daddy Longlegs this time grabbed a shockwave, which can be extremely useful. Like right there. That was a lot of momentum killed there. That might be another point here fairly soon. Probably not anymore. Very good crate there. That forced Ty to swing wide. And once again, Daddy Longlegs gets ice at the same spot. This time, it was slightly earlier, so they didn't get as much of a benefit from it. But, oh, Daddy Longlegs jumps straight into their own rocket, which might end up being... It's not quite a point, but it does give Ty Gamer a massive advantage here. And now Daddy Longlegs has entirely recovered from that just due to outrunning. And that might be it here. Ooh, a bit of a couple box hits means that Ty has caught back up. But a rocket hit seals it, and it is 3-0 on the map. Total sweep. 1-0.
Oh, Lantern Festival. Daddy Longlegs does not seem to want this.
Alright, let's see how this goes. Unusual decision of attempting to hit with the ice there. Ooh. No swing up to try to hit the ice on that one either. That's going to be a point here, certainly. There we are. Tiger gets the first point here. Daddy Longlegs does have a pretty big boost advantage here, half boost to none. Pink rocket there. Not entirely sure how. Actually, it was probably just pink showing us that as if he had less speed than he actually did. Ooh, good attempt to use the ball there to close off the laser. Unfortunately for them, it did not close it off in time.
Daddy Longlegs really waiting for the skip. Even though they had a very big advantage on that gamer.
Second point for Ty. That game, I mean, Daddy Longlegs went wide for a bunch of extra momentum, but then had to lose it all due to a crate that forced him to swing wide on the chimney up. And as a result, Ty Gamer gets that third point, 1-1.
Seems like this is gonna be a match neck and neck. Ocean Slide is picked. So gonna be a lot of running. Or Daddy Longlegs has a massive advantage on Die Gamer. Even gets the cam kill before Die Gamer has a chance to swing up. Good ball attempt, but Die Gamer was just slow enough to dodge it. Daddy Longlegs takes these corners very wide because he's completely blind when doing so. Okay, Die Gamer correctly waits for the ice. Very well done. Good awareness. However, Daddy Longlegs still has the advantage out of that. And Die Gamer makes a single mistake that allows Daddy Longlegs to take it. Now it's gonna be 2 points for Daddy Longlegs and only 1 for Die Gamer. It's not looking great, but there is still a chance Die Gamer manages to lift this up entirely. Come back from the ground. Daddy Longlegs correctly does not pull the lever, puts Die Gamer in a very precarious situation. And he takes his second points, 2-1. Yeah, that's fair enough, Daddy Longlegs. This stream has been going on for a while, this tournament.
There is a reason why we moved the tournament times to be a bit earlier than normal. It was to give the people who would be doing this late into the night a bit more time to sleep afterwards.
Alright, good attempt with the ball there. Unfortunately, it does not land very well. Shockwave gonna be used, but denied because of the drill. Gamer manages to get for an item before getting the point, which is extremely bad for Daddy Longlegs. And Gamer even starts with an RG. Looking extremely good for them. Ooh, but they miss a grapple because they're completely blind. Daddy Longlegs takes full advantage of this and actually comes back. Accidentally used the slope on the wrong way and gives Gamer the point. Well, also, oh, and the rocket from another dimension. Oh boy. Gamer has some special powers. Slow box is gonna have to remember that for next round, if there's one. And looks like there might be one because Daddy Longlegs has a massive lead. Even the rocket to shoot Gamer into the ceiling. Very good reaction. Box there not gonna be very useful. And Gamer does not use a shockwave despite Daddy Longlegs not having any boost to counter that. Maybe they noticed it too late. And let's see. Alright, both players get the boost. All uses all of it right now. If Gamer gets a shockwave at any point, could be very good. Gets even better, a bomb. Good bomb, okay. Now, the big question, are they gonna remember the box? Gamer forgot about his box! And Daddy Longlegs manages to catch up thanks to that. The map is so large, it's actually very difficult to remember what box you placed where. Very good golden grapple, slows down Gamer just enough for Daddy Longlegs to survive this one. Daddy Longlegs going for gainers, despite the fact he does not need to do them. And still alive after so long. Both players struggling a lot to get a lot of advantage on their opponent. Oh, what happened there? Tackle? And a very far away ball. That's very likely gonna be it. Gamer takes the point. 2-2. And if I recall correctly, this is the first to 5.
Yep.
Dance Hall. Looking like a very, very close match. Ooh, ice there forces Daddy Longlegs into the wall. Gamer gets a bomb, but that's not going to be extremely useful.
And Daddy Longlegs has massive disadvantage that they now have mostly lost. Oh, barely made it through there.
Actually, he even golden grappled Daddy Longlegs, Gamer, and actually forced him into the boost. But Daddy Longlegs is locked in. He is not gonna land any ground anymore. Tries to shockwave it also as well as spawn. But the ball there for Gamer is extremely useful. Daddy Longlegs goes for boost instead of using grapple to take that route. Oh, but makes a small mistake, gives Gamer a lot of ground. It's gonna be very tough And Gamer takes the point, 3-2. Daddy Longlegs still has a chance to come back from this.
To the Citadel.
Very good bomb. The pre-ball there, very strong. Daddy Longlegs apparently on his screen, the ball did not land him. Good boost tapping by Daddy Longlegs. Both players get a very good swing up there, but Daddy Longlegs barely does not make it.
I didn't even try. I mean, Daddy Longlegs didn't even try to recover from that. Instead, opted to click full boost.
Open chat accidentally.
See, that's why none of my controls are anywhere near the button for chat. Well, technically one of them is, but I have to move basically my entire hand to reach it.
Ooh, extremely strong eye spot. The gamer has to throw himself into the spikes to prevent Daddy Longlegs from getting any resources.
A bit of a emergency recovery operation there for Daddy Longlegs, but it does not work. That's the point for time.
Alright, Texas Random. Sounds like a pretty good map. Alright, Daddy Longlegs does not go for the boosts, weirdly enough. So he win trades a lot of resources for Shockwave and max boost pretty much. Not sure about this play, but it might work. Who knows? Takes the top route, which is slightly slower, but to dodge the very threatening ice. Alright, very good. Good pathing for both players. Good gainer for Daddy Longlegs. Again, does not need to land any gainers, but he does anyways. Very good dodge for Daddy Gamer. Jumps off the slope before the ball touches them. Daddy Longlegs still blind running his entire playthrough. The boy does not slow down. 1 point each. Very good reach grapple for Daddy Longlegs. Gives him a lot of ground against Daddy Gamer.
Good box dodge there.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That was a very good ice dodge.
Daddy Gamer dodging items like Neo over here.
Alright, 2 points.
I think it was Neo that did that famous dodge thing. I haven't watched the actual movie. I've only seen the memes. Good early
Very
jump
good box
there.
dodge again.
Oh, unfortunate momentum loss there. 2-2. Daddy Longlegs with the major advantage here.
Alright, they spawn into the box, so it's gonna be cleared for next round.
Ooh.
The ice there gonna be missed. Shockwave
So
dodge. Rocket should not be very useful there, because Dailongak seems to have
Oh,
very good
unfortunate
angles.
head bump there. That's going to put Dailongling way far behind. Oh, and that misgrapple will probably seal it. Yes, it does. Point for Tai. And I believe that's 5-2, yeah. Alright, we're having Arch versus Tai, a rematch of the second match of the tournament.
True, actually. And it ended in Arch winning against Gamer 3-2.
Yep.
So let's see.
It was a
with
close
more
match.
points. Let's see, with more points, how far can it get? Is it gonna end on a 5-4?
One of them climbed all the way up through winners, the other climbed all the way up through losers.
Is it first to 5? It is in fact first to 5. Alright, gonna start on Theme Park. Yeah, and Gamer apparently struggled a bit on officials, especially against Taylor. Or from the looks of it. And Arch is, in fact, the king of officials. So, since it started with an official map, it might be extremely bad for Gamer. And the pre-ball immediately. Unfortunately, the wrong way for Arch. But Gamer has a very good angle. Does not go for the skip, decides to go straight forward. Which makes sense because the skip is banned. Takes the top route, gets a ball there, extremely strong. But Arch keeps himself together extremely well. Forces Gamer to go slightly behind to get back all his speed. Box almost hits Gamer mid-air. However, Gamer still has something to say. He really wants it. He really wants to say it to Arch. Ooh, Gamer barely lived that. But they had to follow Arch as close as possible for this. And Ice there is very, very strong, depending on where Arch decides to go, but actually sees the cam angle instead of jumping away. Good seeing. Very good. First point goes to Arch. Now, I think both players realize what's happening. It's gonna go ping-ponging between both players. Now it's gonna be Lantern Festival, then it's gonna be another official map. And then another workshop, and then another official. Like, Arch has incredible skill on officials. However, Gamer is pretty much the exact opposite. Like, officials are pretty much a very beginner-friendly map, while also being one of the highest skill ceiling maps. Or luck dependent, depending on the map itself. Alright, box placed on that boost. Not a defensive ball used by the A-Gamer. Decides to keep his item. Does not want to cycle it either. Gets boxed in midair. Extremely good looking for Arch. The A-Gamer barely doesn't make it. Alright, they start with some boost. Immediately balls Arch, which gives them the point. Does not get an item, unfortunately. And since Arch is ahead, it's gonna be very, very good for them. The box gonna be midair for Arch. Another box to prevent them from the swing up. Never mind, does not use it. Decides to use it on the slope surf a bit later, which puts them pretty much in a guaranteed position for winning. Very good, so that gamer takes the point. It's gonna be Arch and very likely going to be something like Casino. Works very well. Seems some very interesting turns of events. Let's see who's gonna get the front spawn. It's gonna be Arch. And Gamer immediately misses a grapple. So Arch. Gamer has to win trade some resources immediately. However, they do have an ice, which is extremely valuable in this specific map. Because at this point, this is very strong to force them on the ground and also go up there. But Arch actually got a very good angle and managed to keep his bid very well. And ended up getting 2 points before half the map was done. That gamer hits a box and a lot of boxes afterwards. Doesn't have much boost to recover from that. Arch has a very, very good skill in officials, so this is gonna be expected for Gamer to struggle a lot against Arch on such maps. When Arch misses a single grapple, which is gonna be entirely gone. So point for Arch. 2-1. Oh boy. I think Gamer gets a very good angle on the drop down. Ooh. Gamer is very far. It's gonna be very difficult for them to come back, but they do. They do. Damn. Arch accidentally slowed himself down by jumping when grappling. Very good angle again for Gamer. Pretty much basically has perfect trajectories for this drop down. The wild rocket appears. Gamer has to play around it, almost dies because of it. gets another rocket. Die Gamer just keeps getting rockets. Someone help this guy. Alright, let's see how Die Gamer uses his 28th rocket. Very well. Let's see how he uses his 29th rocket. In the wall as well. Oh, and he finally gets something else. A box!
Let's see if the next one is the rocket too.
Now, I believe next one is gonna be
Nice.
something useful. Oh, and ice, in fact.
But
Blows
now another
Arch
rocket.
a lot. And another rocket in the corridor. You love to see it.
Unless you're the one getting hit by it. Then you really hate to see it. Good use of a grapple climb there for cover.
Alright, Arch gets a bomb there, which is extremely powerful in every drop down on this map. Does not slow box the arrival. The ball there hits Die Gamer very.
Very good ball. That might be lethal. Not quite. He's just able to recover enough to get through there. And with this, they decide to attempt to kill this almost early in order to be able to gain boost here. And they missed the grapple there, but it doesn't matter because they used the rocket to hit Arch. 1-1. Both players managed to get the fast skip here, but Tide does an RG, probably accidental there, because that's not a good place to do an RG. Oh, Tide runs into the wall and then some boxes, giving Arch a second point here. Arch does have a minor boost advantage here, but Tide does have the better item. Oh, and a head monk there from Tide means that Arch is now in the lead. Tide uses the ball to open up the gate, allowing them to take the lead. Good use of the bomb there. Ball does nothing except maybe hit later. Nope, they aren't able to catch up in time. Not quite fast enough. Ice here could be lethal, except Tide Gamer trips on a ledge and then misses the ledge there, which means they can't get the fast route. However, Arch also misses the fast route, which means they are in the lead. And then Arch hits a box coming up, which results in Tygamer getting his second point. It's now 2-2. Tygamer has Shockwave that they managed to get off before the round start. Arch uses that golden hook to give them a massive lead. Very good ball there. That's lethal, and that for Arch. Alright, we're heading back over to Sky High. It's been a while since we were here at this tournament. Almost lethal for Ty. Lethal ice, pretty much guaranteed there. And there we go. 1-1. Ty has minor boost advantage. Arch has item advantage. With that ball. Ty goes back to plus a boost and then uses the open up gate to rapidly catch up. Ty takes a slightly wider turn there, which means they fall a bit behind. They're still in the running, however. Slightly better transition from Arch there. Tygamer slowly falling behind, but Arch manages to get a ceiling hit there.
Just noticed my mic bugged, so I don't know how long I wasn't talking.
A while.
I'm guessing a while, yeah.
Yeah. My mic used to do that too. Fortunately, I figured out a way to stop it, aka it randomly stopped doing it, and I don't know why. Very good ice there. That killed a lot of momentum.
When blocks Arch in a very, very weird place. I've pretty much never seen anyone stop there.
Oh, and a missed grapple kills Arch.
Alright, which official have they not played yet?
Power plant.
Power plant.
Oh, almost lethal tackle there.
Best map for official.
Oh, Tygamer doesn't notice the laser in time and point for Arch. Arch probably could have made it through there, actually, without getting hit by the laser. Both players get the faster swing through there. Arch just barely doesn't get killed by that missile. Ooh, potentially lethal ball here.
Ooh, very good
Ooh,
ball timing.
Yeah, but then Arch misses the slope, which still not quite enough to give Ty a chance to survive there.
Ooh, this is
Lasers
an
coming back
extremely
around,
good
it
position
might
for
be
Tygamer.
available to kill, or it might not be. Tygamer slows down a tiny bit. Manages to get through there, however. Then Tygamer just stands there to click full boost and give up the point.
Alright, this is 4-3.
Arch wants Ty to pick Banished. Let's see if it happens.
Have yet to pick Pitfall.
And we're heading over to the Disco Lounge. Non-zero
Close
chance
enough for
Arch
my
kills themselves and just goes to Banish. Yes, that's not happening though.
I don't understand these picks. They usually just pick maps that they know their opponent is not great at.
There are two things to consider when selecting, well, three things to consider when selecting which map to pick on your turn. Number one, how good are you at the map? Number two, how good is your opponent at the map? And number three, is it even a map you are allowed to pick? Generally, the last one isn't really a concern, because the main limitations are, is it an official or a workshop that you have not won?
Very good box. The ice there slightly too late. Arch just manages to scale the point. Has the advantage on Die Gamer on the workshop map.
There's a reason a lot of people started playing Casino and Lab more often than they used to.
Ooh. Very good dodge. So far, Arch still keeping his lead. Putting a box on the slope, probably for next round. For next lap, I mean. Very good ice for Arch. Forces the ice on Die Gamer. Forces the point as well. A bit late on the ice, unfortunately. A bit early or late, actually. That was pretty much in between. Die Gamer, it does get a point, but is it gonna... Ooh, 2 points, actually. Is it gonna be enough to show Arch who's the boss? A big reverse sweep. Sweet.
What a why be a reverse sweep since they were alternating earlier.
True.
Ooh,
oh,
that
no.
was a nasty ice attempt.
The ice was a bit late, yes. Now the question of the day, are they gonna remember the box?
Which box? That box?
Oh, he does!
Yeah, just barely. That was an extremely risky play there, because there was basically no room. 1/10 of a second later, and they would have hit the box and died. 1/10 of a second earlier, and they wouldn't have been on the slope, and they would have killed all the momentum and died. So, wow. Just barely Arch manages to pull it off there.
Yeah. 5-3. And now for the grand final match, Ahmad against Arch.
Let's see if Bro has finished his Overwatch games.
I mean, he's the king of speed. He might be closing the game so fast. Or winning so fast. Or play both games at the time. Who knows what his limits are. Well, already Ahmad has been nerfed because he doesn't have his Cosmo skin.
First serve.
First to 5. only a first to 7 if Ahmad loses.
Yep.
So this is a complete rematch. Ahmad against Arch all over again.
Yep.
And on Metro on all maps possible. The best official map.
Uh-oh, Ahmad didn't hit the ceiling slope there. Lost a bit of potential momentum.
This is an extremely snowball heavy map, so
Yep.
if you know what you're doing, being ahead is a massive blessing.
Ooh, very good ball dodge there. Oh, Ahmad just barely trips, but is able to just barely survive by the skin of their teeth. Good use of the rocket there. Ahmad gets full boost. Probably going to use that to survive. Or do a bit of win trading. Because they are definitely in an advantageous position now with that full boost. Very good landing on that open gate there to make it act like a slope. Ahmad carrying forward that boost advantage. And with the rocket from last round, oh, and that bomb is probably going to seal it here with the drop down into the speed section.
Ahmad has a very good angle
Yep,
there.
there we
Arch
go.
does not
First point goes to Ahmad. Well, first man.
So let's see who's gonna be the best, honestly, because Ahmad has not played for quite a while, but Arch has had some good warm-up just before this match.
Tackle there on
Pretty
Ahmad.
good battle between him and Die Gamer.
That or feathering. Though I don't really see why they would do the feathering there. Ooh, I
Arch hits
think
the
that
wall.
Arch got tackled or hit the wall. That would make sense too. There's that one tile of wall.
Right, both neck and neck. However, because of that ball, they have to play. I would have said they have to play further away, but Ahmad being into Arch directly got them confused.
Yeah. You either gotta
That
be
rocket.
really far away so you can dodge, or be really close together so you can bet it on a 50-50 that they pick the wrong direction.
Alright, let's see. Next item is going to be very crucial. Box.
Oh, box. That's a
box.
point here, guaranteed, pretty much.
It depends, honestly. Many ways to dodge a box.
Yeah. If it was placed in the right spot, however, it would be practically guaranteed.
Arch did not get confident to go get an item. Alright, Ahmad is getting comfortable again.
Ahmad goes for the super skip, and it works!
Congrats! Nice!
Not often you see that happen in a match.
Especially in the tournament.
Yeah, generally it's a bad idea to do that.
Banished to keep. First time we see this map in the tournament. Let's see. This is a fairly new map, so Ahmad might not know about it.
And by fairly new, we mean this is the first time it has ever been played in tournament. Unless it happened in one of the off-screen matches, but those don't count.
Seems like both players know where to go very well on this map. They have been practicing. Ahmad does not manage to hit the double bomb trigger.
Very small slope there. I think Ahmad forgot which direction to go there. That or they collected air or something there.
Probably went for an item.
Ooh, very good and great dodge there. Unfortunately, it resulted in a bunch of kill momentum anyways due to the slope. Ooh, dueling ices. Ahmad's hits. Ahmad collects full boost, and so does Arch. Arch is going to just kill themselves because there's no chance of them catching up to Ahmad there. Both players are probably going to go back for the air here. Yes, they do. Ahmad's farther behind because I believe they got tackled.
I think Ahmad accidentally jumped in place. Oh, what the hell?
An attempted wait to hit a ball and force me into the saw turned into absolutely nothing happening except a bit of lead loss. And that's a point for Arch because of that, I believe.
That was a crazy wait.
I mean, if it had worked, that would have been worth it. If. Good bomb attempt. Unfortunately, the ceiling is too high there for that to work.
Insane swing up.
Ooh, Ahmad barely dodges their own ball from earlier.
Very good golden grapple.
Ooh, good, great there. Come on, Arch messes up going back to collect air. Ooh, Arch manages to get the fast route.
Big swing up as we love. So far, not much happening because there's such a big distance between both players. And Ahmad decides to go finally for a win trade. Oh. Seems to have worked wonderfully. Ahmad's ball might not be very useful there. However, they do get a very good angle there. Nice. Arch still is trying their best to catch up. But Ahmad is just very far ahead. However, since the map is fairly new, blind running is going to be a very good option. But that rocket puts Arch into his place on the ground. Ahmad takes a third point. Now Arch is gonna have to up their game. Very likely going to go for officials, no? Go for SS Royale. A very, very difficult maps in terms of like win trades and slopes.
A lot
of win trading positions. Which is very likely what Ahmad's gonna do there. Unless Arch doesn't use any of his boosts, so Ahmad actually tries to survive this.
It does not work. That unfortunate. Not often you see people taking bottom route there. Ooh, lots of potential momentum from Arch here. Arch doesn't keep it as well as Ahmad does, though. Both players have pretty much full boost now. Ahmad cycles out to grab a box. Looks like they were a bit farther ahead on there than others.
Very
good use of the gate to block that gate. I mean, to block that ball.
Ahmad went for some boost, but I'm not sure if that was the correct play. Maybe it was to actually protect himself from potential shockwaves.
You always want to have at least a little boost left.
Oh, very good attempt with the golden hook. Unfortunately, on the map screen, it doesn't work.
Ooh. Ball does not work.
Ahmad has a box, does not use it on either of the slopes. Decides
Good
to use
use
it
of
on a
that
very
block,
weird
though.
route.
Great.
Even
So,
very good grapple block, yeah.
Ahmad's playing with his food.
Arch does not fear Ahmad's balls. He does not stop no matter what.
Well,
But
Ahmad
Ahmad
has already
puts-
shown that they keep missing the balls. So,
4-0 for Ahmad so far.
potentially the final map of the tournament. And where does Arch want to eventually end it? With some
Casino!
gambling. Let's go gambling.
We love Casino. I bump, Arch immediately gets the lead. However, Ahmad has a golden hook, and from this close it might be very useful. Arch waits for the lever to not give Ahmad the lead, which is very clever. Good shockwave. Unfortunately, slightly too low, but it works out
Point for
eventually
Arch.
because Ahmad did not have the boost to go through this.
And Arch does have a boost advantage too. Oh, and a missed grapple gives Ahmad a point. And Ahmad now has boost advantage. Ahmad has a ball, Arch has a ice. Let's see which one of them is going to be more useful. Ice completely misses, ball also completely misses. Probably. It still technically can hit.
No, it was to hit this wall specifically. Nobody likes this wall. Alright,
Arch
Ahmad
collects
has
rocket
full
at
boost
the
though.
point. Ahmad does have a pretty big boost advantage here.
Yeah, he did not expect to die because he used some boost just before dying. But that's okay because he still has a lot of boost. Very good pathing for both players. Somehow Arch does not get boxed by Ahmad. Good gainer for Ahmad. Arch is ahead with more boost.
And
a
a
cam kill
bomb.
might be an option. Ooh, cam
Camp
kill.
kill is attempted, it does not
Ahmad doesn't
function,
fall for
but
it.
they are able to recover due to a grapple. Oh, good bomb.
Arch is a beast on this map. Oh my god. Ahmad tried his best, but Arch is just too fast.
Camp kill attempt, and it works! 4-1! The gamble paid off.
Is Ahmad gonna go again on Casino just to prove that he is better on this map, or will he choose another one? Oh, he goes for Casino. He is going for the win. He wants to prove his point. He is the king of speed. This time around, Ahmad gets the front spawn. It's looking already extremely good for Ahmad. First point. Arch has the boost advantage, but because this is a wall climbing section, it's not that useful just yet.
Oh, that's probably going to be another point here.
Very strong rocket. Ahmad has a ghost item, I believe. Yep, he has a ghost item, so he could not even see Arch's ice. The desync. Ahmad going backwards, despite being 1 point away from victory. Very likely to, because his opponent couldn't see, because his opponent was pretty much robbed by that ice.
Kill attempt, and it worked! And Ahmad pulls up a 3-0 on the map. They just lost 3-1.
And that's gonna be
Alright.
it. He wants to go back to the casino. Stop this guy! Yep, GG's.
Alright, everybody. I hope you all had as much fun as I did here.
This was really, really great to see as well, all the time.
So, I will see you all next time with our fun run. Make sure to sign up if you're interested. Have a good time,
TV2
son.
tournament! Yay!